Hello everybody, welcome to D&H TV. It is Tuesday, April 30th, 2018, last day of fiscal for D&H.
All right.
Where's the countdown? You have the countdown you can put till end of fiscal?
Nope, sorry.
No ball dropping? Can we go to Times Square?
No, but that it's 2 o'clock. We have 10 hours.
All right,
So.
2 hours. Woohoo! I'm Chris Phillips. Joining me today, we're going to be talking about ProAV. So joining me today, we've got Peter Hurley, who's what is your exact job title now here?
Director of our ProAV business unit.
And Dave Blazer, who's a sales specialist for ProAV.
Correct, ProAV sales specialist.
Awesome. We're going to talk a lot about our ProAV business, how we're doing, and things of that nature. Before we get started, I want to make note of a special social media promo we got going on right now with Trip Light. If you're a baseball fan, they're looking for you to go out there and make your best pitch to sell Trip Light. Go on social media, hashtag ProAV, tag D&H as well. Make your best pitch to attach Trip Light to any of your sales, to your customers. Just tell us how you would attach ProAV with Trip Light. You could be entered to win a home theater package. So D&H's social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, we'll have more information as that as well on D&H.com. So with obligatory promo out of the way, I want to come over to you guys. I'll start with you, Peter. You've been with D&H for about a year now. Can you kind of give us the state of the union, what it is with ProAV here at D&H? We're not going to give you dramatic effect. We're not going to stand behind you. If we do, I call Speaker of the House. You can be Vice President. But what's the state of the union look right now? Where are we hot? Where are opportunities? Where are we going in the next fiscal year?
Great. The opportunities are many. The industry itself is really solid. Avixa, which is the leading trade organization for audio-video specialists and professionals.
I should mention, I'm CTS certified. We'll have another one in here later, too.
So that is one of the value adds of working with us, is that we have CTS engineers. Avixa states that the industry is over $20 billion. I know that number gets thrown around in different flavors, but it's significant. AV, as most of us know, is in every vertical market. This is the reason that we have this business unit, that we get to work with some of the more established business units that are within D&H and with our customers. We continue to hire, we continue to onboard more vendors, we continue to see increases in revenue, and then the ability for us to add profitability to our resellers' bottom line is one of the main objectives for this year with us.
Cool. So you mentioned kind of getting the word out and things of that nature. What are we doing outside of these shows like this or traditional trade shows to kind of get the word out that we're here, we're in the ProAV market, we're here to stay, and we're here to help you? What other events or what outreach have we done for this in the past? Sure.
Every year, D&H hosts many of what we would consider their traditional shows. We have a show upcoming in Hershey next month. And then we also are doing regional shows. So last month, or earlier this month, was an example up at Foxborough at the football stadium for the Patriots. We hosted an event with 6 vendors. We brought in 30 invited resellers. We did round robin sessions, had dinner, drinks, a tour of the stadium. We're also doing one with Top Golf. They're not all around specifically just ProAV. We fall under a services umbrella, so you'll start to see some of these events that are around tied in with AV, but also with specialties like maybe cloud and security.
Cool. How's your top golf game? Have you done Top Golf?
I have. I've done it several times in Vegas, and it's not so good.
Not good either.
Yeah, not so good.
I get it off the tee and it just kind of rolls.
Well, actually, there's an event Nate's going to be participating in a couple of weeks here, or maybe next week with LG, and they're well known for some of their events are around Top Golf.
So if you want to see us fail at Top Golf in person, join us at one of those events. You talked about LG and some of the vendors that are supporting us. Can you kind of go over the vendors that are supporting this initiative here at D&H, some of our key vendors that we like to focus on and try and drive sales through?
Yeah, I don't like to call them all out, but we have some of the industry leading. On the flat panel, video wall, digital signage side, you have the core of 3, Samsung, LG, and NEC. We're very strong with ViewSonic on their interactive touch, considered one of the top players in the K-12 market. Epson on the projector side is also a leading vendor for us. The whole family from Legrand, the Chief and Daylight lines at Lona, Geffen, A10 on the connectivity and that side of things, and wireless. I don't know, Nate, if there's some others that come to mind.
No, I think that's a good point. Naming all the vendors that we work with, I think that's what differentiates us, because a lot of times that, some places the specialist is geared towards maybe 2 vendors or
Right.
1 vendor. Here, we're kind of geared towards many vendors. We try to find the best solution for the customer at that time.
We've always been focused on the DNA is built around solution selling, and that's one of the keys. We've always been able to take your Epson projector, pair it with a screen from any one of a number of different vendors with a different kind of mount as well from 3 or 4 different vendors, creating one whole solution that's back-end by A10 equipment to route all your audio video. So with that being said, what people here at D&H are able to assist with kind of that process, because we get a lot of opportunities brought our way, but no one really has a focus of what. All I know is I need a projector and a screen.
Yeah.
What can we do to kind of help that process along?
So generally, we'll get a request, and it'll be a screen or a projector, and that's all they request. Usually, I'm going to go back to our customer and ask if it's a new build or if they're replacing something. They kind of get an idea of if they need screens, if they need mounts, if they need cabling, if they need wall plates. So we try to help the reseller create a whole bill of materials to create the full solution, rather than just selling a piece of it and helping the reseller earn more money, more profit in the long run.
Speaking of that, do we offer some way to do spas?
Oh, I'm
things of
glad
that
you
nature?
asked. Yes, we do. So
It's almost like we scripted it.
So we do have a pretty good spot presence. I have access to all of the bid desks that we work with. So Samsung, LG, ViewSonic, NEC. We can usually get your pricing registered fairly quickly. And I will stress how important it is to register your bids, because if you're speccing something for your customer and they try to shop it, you're at least going to be protected.
Yeah, can you kind of explain to some of our customers that might not know what the spa process even looks like? What is a spa, and how does it help them close a deal with their customers?
So a spa is a special pricing agreement, and what it does is it gives the reseller a discount as long as they're selling to a certain end user. So it registers that deal for that reseller and end user. So they're going to have a special price just for that end user that'll help them win business if the end user tries to shop.
Is this per vendor based?
Per vendor, will each have their own spa. You also get kind of the rep that will work with that area for the vendor also has visibility into that deal, so they can actually help you close the...
A little bit more sales support.
Yes.
And that's a lot. That's key, because a lot of our resellers always, more support is one of the key things they want. They need more support, not only from us, from the distribution side, but from the vendor side as well. So SPA is another way to not only get yourself better pricing, but to get yourself more support on the vendor side, right?
Yeah, and I think it helps you build a relationship with the vendor as well, because when you're set up with that vendor rep in that area, it'll allow you to kind of build that relationship once they help you close that deal. Now, maybe they're out there and they have leads for you to help you close more business for them as well. So I think getting to know the vendors is definitely a strong positive on that. Plus, you're going to have a pricing advantage over anybody else on that opportunity.
And then Chris, if I could just add, I mean, we have
No,
there's
you may
so,
not.
There's so many.
I was having a conversation with
stuff
Nate
outside, but so many of our customers may not be aware of the support that we can give to them. But I pride myself on the relationships that we have both in the field with the vendors, and if we can connect them with the reseller, whether it's the sales rep or an engineer or their owners, to build that. I've been on the road quite a bit in the last 2 months, and almost every one of them said, well, you obviously have the contacts because you're already mirroring us up with a vendor in that area based on a conversation we had. Now, we do this over the phone all day, but when you see it in person, and then the next day, that vendor's going in and scheduling a meeting, the vendor likes the fact that we introduced them because maybe they didn't realize how much they did or what project. It could just be one project coming. We ideally are looking for them for a long-term relationship, but the way Nate described it is a value add for both for us with the reseller and us with the vendor, and us being the person that drove that relationship.
Cool. Anything else on the sales side, Nate, that we're doing to help assist our customers through basically the selling process up until it's time to hit go on the invoice?
Yeah, I would say that we have some programs in place, especially with certain vendors that offer first-time buying discounts, marketing material that kind of help them sell it to companies that maybe aren't doing that business yet. So I think, we can help them with that. If they need marketing material to help drive business, we can help them with that as well.
Cool. With that, I'm going to excuse you, Nate, because I want to go ahead and bring in Jason, who is our ProAV sales engineer. He also handles a lot of our services that we do for on-site installs and things of that nature for ProAV. So Jason, welcome. Come in a little bit closer. You can come in a little bit closer. It's
I
okay.
can get real close.
Buddy up. It's all right. We'll start on the pre-sale side. You were brought in to be a pre-sales engineer. What are you doing right now to help our customers kind of build out a solution? What does your typical sales cycle look like? Are you just given kind of I have a customer that wants to do this and you have to build a solution based off that? Or are you doing more in-depth calls to scout out that solution with the actual end user?
So what usually happens is the sales representatives we have at D&H bring in those leads to us. So they have that relationship already established with the reseller. So they would bring, let's say they're looking for a projector or a screen or such, but they have a end user that wants to do more instead of just selling them some parts and products. That they would like to have an entire solution put together. So I put together a two-step process called a goal discovery and a goal review. So I invite that reseller and the end user to have a conference call to pretty much review what they want to have the technology to do for them around ProAV. So not just look at the different types of vendors and materials and products and such, but look at what you want technology to do.
Okay.
So from that call, we gather that type of, we want a screen, we want a projector, and then the solution behind it. We have the space, let's say it's education, and we want to be able to have an interactive board for the instructor, presenter, teacher to be able to manage that space. So I will put together all those materials on a piece of paper form, and that's pretty much, let's say I do like a rough draft, and then I take that and build out a bill of materials list from it. So that has all the D&H SKUs for it. And then what we can do, we can take that back to the reseller and we have a goal review. So we review pretty much all of the products and solutions that we put together, and then we're able to offer them at the time if they want to have augmented services to it as well. So because not all of our resellers have the capability and the people on staff able to support those type of installs.
And much to your point there, we all do offer the on-site services as well. I remember a specific opportunity where we needed someone to be able to go into a church and kind of lay out, hey, where can we actually mount a projector at? How far would that projector be from the screen? We were able to help partner someone with a site survey to do a site survey to get all that information back to you. You were able to do a bill of material based off that information, and then we're able to hire someone to go in there and actually do the installation for that as well. So it's kind of an all-encompassing solutions experience there. You'll be able to get the pre-sale support and the actual installation support if need be, correct?
Yes.
And you can piecemeal that out, right? You don't have to do, like, what parts of that would we need to be involved in? Like, let's say someone already has the ball and build, but they needed someone on the services side just to do the installation. Is that something we could do for them? Or they want to handle the installation themselves?
So the way that I currently go about it is I never feel that we have to be able to match both all of our materials and the services together. That we can either, if let's say they decide to purchase a product somewhere else, that's fine, because we can still vet out that solution, because we don't want to send in a team that we're sort of marrying to the reseller for that engagement, and then they feel they're not secure or able to properly assist. So making sure you always have a successful engagement, to me, is very important. So when you can control all the different steps from that original discovery through completion, obviously it gives you a much higher chance of success rate, but it really comes down to relationships and communication. So when we put the proper coordination in place, so we have those calls, those kickoff calls and review calls, we're able to pretty much put together a good solution. So I've worked with ones, because we can't always offer 100% of the product that, let's say, they would like to have, but we're also able to provide alternatives as well. There are vendors out there that are direct to resellers only, so we don't have access to them, and they're very well known in the industry. But there's a lot of companies that make alternatives out there as well that work just as well, and we have pretty good relationships with them. So it's about them being open to those other avenues as well, and that's something that I try to make them feel comfortable with.
Try to. So it's a little bit off-putting to sometimes put your trust into somebody you don't know yet. So any way we can help ease that process is.
Well, the key word is trust there. So we're going to earn that. We recognize that when we're on our calls and the meetings. Jason's described that we can take a concept all the way to delivery, including everything that's included, whether it's audio or video or wireless or mounts or whatever, so we can vet the vendors, we can get the SPA process in place to enable our customer to have more profitability. We can help them get the product delivered, and then we can go get a sign-off if they go and do an install, or they do content management if it's digital signage.
And concept is the right word there, because some of our customers might only have a concept of what they want, but they don't know the actual mechanics of how to get there. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get them from concept to reality, and we're going to support them throughout the entire process. Peter, is there anything coming in the future, or what's kind of the next? What do you see 6 months from now, a year from now, is kind of the next areas that ProAV is going to start to migrate into? We've started to see this kind of shift into interactive displays. What's coming next? Is there anything immediate down the line? Are we looking at more flat panels, things of that nature?
I think the artificial intelligence is
Internet
here.
of Things, yeah.
And now that that the screen has the intelligence to know who's in front of it and things like that.
Oh, that's so fun.
For us and for our company, there'll be a significant push into audio and a significant push into fine pitch LED.
Yeah.
Today, it's video walls and signage is there, but it'll be the continued build out of our practice that's here. It's slow, it's methodical, it's on purpose. We have a lot of support by the organization and senior management. This will enable us to be a distributor with inventory to enable these projects. The more projects that we get involved in, it goes into our pipeline system, and then gives us visibility into purchasing, and then they bring in the inventory so that as these projects come to fruition, we're prepared to deliver immediately.
Give you the final word here. Is there anything else you want to tell our resellers and your customers that are thinking about starting to sell ProAV or selling ProAV but not buying through D&H? What's your pitch to them? How can we help them out?
My pitch is the door's open. We're open for business, and our tagline is yes we can, and with us, yes you can.
Sign is open.
Sign's open. We're open for biz.
If you want any more information on ProAV here at D&H, we do have a site set up, dnh.com/ProAV. Head over there. If you have any questions for Jason, Nate, Peter, we have an email alias, proav@dnh.com, correct? We also will be having a technical webcast coming up at the end of the month. I will be doing a technical training on projector solutions, not just buy what projector you should buy, but the mounts that should go onto it, what screen you should be using, how each screen material affects the actual solution itself. So we will go ahead and do that as well. But with that, thank you for joining me, Peter and Jason and Nate, who's back there somewhere. If you guys have any questions after this, please feel free to send them to proav@dnh.com, send them to solutionslab@dnh.com. With that, have a great afternoon, everyone.